What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The impact of U.S. tariff policies is already being seen for some of Taiwan's exporters, but it's also prompting many companies to become more resilient. Reporter Aichi takes a look at how one industry is navigating global headwinds.
像我们这个东西，这一系列所有的产品，它都是保特瓶做的。
Entrepreneur Sam Hong is in a tough spot. His firm, HFI, supplies eco-friendly fabrics to major international brands, like the North Face and Lululemon. After US President Donald Trump threatened widespread tariffs in April, including 32% on Taiwanese goods, Hong has had to think of ways to minimize the impact. And although those tariffs are not paused, for now, he's already seen some difficulties with customers.
There is tremendous impact right now, what's happening right now, yes. They can't just absorb all the import tariff, and they're gonna come ask for a little bit help for a better price. When they are big and they got a bargain power, you take it or leave it. I mean, it's not easy.
HFI's customer base is overwhelmingly American, making uncertainty in global trade an especially tough problem. So Hong has now started branching out.
I try to not diversify not my product, also my market. Hopefully try to penetrate every market I can.
Hong's company isn't alone. Taiwan's textile industry depends heavily on exports and mostly operates business to business. And he has strong ties with international customers, especially in the US, and with factories in Southeast Asia, where some countries have also been hit with high tariffs. That means rising costs are forcing brands to pay closer attention to managing expenses.
他们明显的呈现一个观望的一个状况。那所谓观望，就是说他们对新的订单的一个在下订单的速度上面讲，事实上有趋缓。
Industry insiders say the tariffs have also pushed Taiwan's textile firms to improve across multiple fronts.
在这样的情况之下呢，那台湾纺织产业采取大概有几个面向。第一个可能是在整个的一个追求产品高质化。那第二个呢，当然是希望说在做这个永续经营，永续的一个发展。第三个是在这个所谓的一个数位转型。第四个是寻求产业共荣。
The textile sector is just one of several in Taiwan looking to offset the impact of U.S. tariffs. The U.S. is Taiwan's second largest export market, surpassing China to become #1 in February and June this year, meaning Taiwan relies heavily on the U.S. market. After tariffs was first announced in the spring, many Taiwanese companies were flooded with orders from the U.S., with customers hoping to get ahead of the levies. But economists now worry this could spell trouble later on in the year.
在现阶段很难找到一个替代的市场，但是它的这个挑战就是美国的投入要素成本是非常高，而且比这些新兴市场高很多。那这个是不是厂商呢到美国直接去投资呢？如果说没有规模经济的话，是不是有获利的机会呢？这个是厂商必须要考虑的。
Economists say Taiwan needs to be more proactive navigating these uncertainties by strengthening its position in supply chains.
那这个方法提升位阶的话，就是说让这个产品的这个替代效果降低啦，在市场上的对我们特定的产品的需求会持续的增强。
Taiwan is still in trade talks with the U.S., hoping to reach a deal that will shield it from the worst of the tariffs. But in the meantime, it's companies like Hong's HFI that are left with the fallout of U.S. trade policy and who must now take steps to be resilient for the next big shock. Alex Chen and Aichi from TaiwanPlus.
U.S. tech giant Nvidia says it will soon resume shipments of one of its advanced AI chips to China. The company says the U.S. government has agreed to grant export licenses for its H20 chip, a model designed specifically for the Chinese market. Nvidia developed the chip after Washington imposed export controls in late 2023 on national security concerns. But in April, sales were halted again under new restrictions introduced by U.S. President Donald Trump. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang is currently visiting Beijing to shore up the Chinese market, just days after meeting with Trump and top officials in Washington. Leaders from one of Taiwan's indigenous groups are fighting for official status for their people, a battle they say has gone on far too long. Reese Ayers reports.
Urgent calls for justice here in Taipei as the Siraya Indigenous community fight for recognition. The Siraya is one of Taiwan's Plains indigenous groups. Its leaders are urging all branches of government to finally acknowledge them as one of Taiwan's officially recognized indigenous groups. There are currently 16. Such recognition would give them access to more legal rights, protections and resources. The push follows a 2022 Constitutional Court ruling affirming their identity. But nearly 3 years later, the Council of Indigenous Peoples has yet to submit their case for final approval. And the Siraya are tired of waiting. Indigenous leaders are also challenging proposed legislation they say would prevent individual ethnic groups within the wider Plains indigenous peoples from attaining the highest level of recognition.
我们希望它能够修正，对我们更能够符合宪法判决的意志跟精神，更符合转型正义。
Protesters have invited President Lai to talk on the issue, one they say he has supported in the past, but has neglected to see through to the end. By Thursday this week, the legislature is expected to have a verdict for the Siraya people, a decision that will define their future status as one of Taiwan's many indigenous communities. Klein Wang and Rees in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
More than 2,500 geese have been culled at a single farm in southern Taiwan in the latest efforts to curb the spread of bird flu. The goose farm in Yunlin County detected a highly infectious H5N1 strain. Animal health experts say it might have spread due to recent flooding and damage to bird coops. 17 farms in Taiwan have killed off their poultry livestock since January to prevent the spread of the virus. A Taiwanese space firm has failed to become the first foreign company to successfully launch a space rocket from Japan. Space launched a rocket from Hokkaido in northern Japan on Saturday, but within a minute of liftoff, the rocket started to wobble and fell back to Earth. Space has yet to successfully launch a rocket, with another failed attempt in Australia in 2022. The 2025 World University Games are set to kick off on Wednesday, with athletes from around the world already on their way to the event, including Taiwan's top fencers. Our reporter Sandy Chi caught up with them during training.
Taiwan's fencing team is aiming to bring home the country's first medal in the sport at the 2025 World University Games in Germany this summer. The competition is an important multi-sports event for university athletes around the world. This year, a total of 9 fencers are representing Taiwan under the name Chinese Taipei.
应该说，我们男子锐剑，我们这次派出的就是4个代表，对，然后他们分别是打个人赛跟团体赛，然后接下来我们还会有男子盾剑，还有女子锐剑。
Among the male fencers is Chen Yitong, who competed in Paris last summer. He was Taiwan's first male Olympic fencer in 36 years. He says the team has been training hard.
我觉得我们训练就很全方面，可是就是有比较 focus 在我们的反应跟敏捷，然后可能还要在场上对打的节奏。
The spotlight is also on the only female epee fencer on the team, Mia Wu, who began fencing at the age of 11. She is representing Chinese Taipei for the first time at this year's games.
I'm really proud of how hard I worked for this university games, and I'm super excited to compete, and I hope everything goes well. I would love to be top 4 at least to get that medal, but I really want to try my best and just show how hard I trained and my abilities and capabilities.
With the games set to kick off this Wednesday, Taiwan's top fencers are ready to fight their way to glory and secure their spot on the podium. Chris Ma and Sani Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow us on social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out some of the competitors in the North Pole Marathon, where runners braved temperatures as low as 8 degrees below zero. I'm Yvonne Yang. Take care, and I'll see you next time.